日本時間4月8日、ドジャースの山本由伸投手は、敵地トロントでのブルージェイズ戦に、今季3度目の先発マウンドに上がりました。昨季ワールドシリーズ以来、約5ヶ月ぶりに、ブルージェイズ戦での先発登板とあって、試合前の選手紹介では、山本投手が紹介されると、敵地ファンから大ブーイングが起こる場面も。この日の山本投手は、初回を3者連続三振と、素晴らしい立ち上がりを見せると、その後も155キロを超える速球や、150キロ近いカットボールなどを駆使し、ブルージェイズ打線をゼロに抑える好投。6回に1点を失うも、6回と3分の0、97球を投げ、5安打、6奪三振、1四球、1失点。チームが3対1でリードした状態で、勝ち投手の権利を持って、マウンドを降りました。そして、この日の大谷翔平選手は、1番 DH で、先発出場。3回の第2打席で、弾丸ライナーで、ライトフェンスに直撃する強烈な先制タイムリーを放つなど、3打数1安打、1打点、2四球の活躍。昨季からの連続試合出塁を42に伸ばしました。また、3点リードで迎えた5回のノーアウト1塁の第3打席。相手のバレンズエラ捕手が1塁に牽制した際に、右手が大谷選手の左腕に接触。大谷選手は打席を外して大きな声を上げて絶叫する場面があり、ドジャース側の実況を務めるジョー・デイビス氏とオーレル・ハーシュハイザー氏が、大谷を初めて怒らせました。あんな姿は見たことがありませんよ。とコメントする場面がありました。ドジャースは4対1で勝利し、5連勝を飾りました。ここからは、その様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
Won games 2, 6, and 7 of the World Series tonight, returning to the mound in Toronto for the first time. Kirsten Watson is there at Rogers Center, and she's joining us live with more on Yoshi. Hello, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Well, what we saw from Yoshinobu Yamamoto last year in the World Series, how he was able to start Game 2, essentially be available out of the bullpen for Game 3, then, of course, start Game 6, and actually come out of the bullpen in Game 7 was remarkable. How he takes care of his body, how he's able to put himself in a position to be readily available. If you remember, when he first came over to the Dodgers coming from the NPB, they were very intentional with his schedule, only really having him pitch once a week because, of course, playing in Japan as a professional starting pitcher, that's what their schedule looks like. Dave Roberts talked about just that today, how they now feel comfortable putting him on regular rest, what they saw from him in the World Series, and how he continues to show up just for his team.
You know, we're very sensitive to what their routine Japanese pitchers have been used to, and trying to slowly try to get them acclimated to, you know, less rest. And there's really never been a pitcher that we've had that said that they need the 1 week. They've all kind of clamored to pitch more frequently, to their credit. I think it's just more of feeling like, you know, 1.5 years of time here in the States gave us the confidence to kind of start to shorten him up. And then now you kind of go into his third season. We feel very comfortable now.
Yamamoto obviously gained a lot of respect from the States in 24 for what he did. But is there anything, another level of that he's maybe touched into with what he did last year in October?
Well, I think that last year took him to another level. I think that, you know, what he did in 24 is great performance, but that's been done many times over in the postseason. But what he did last year, you're talking about in modern day baseball, it's a small number, very small number. So I think that right there put him in a different class.
When you talk to this team about just the World Series last year, a lot of them have kind of really dialed in on, they're really focusing more on this year. But what they do remember, and what has been truly the highlight outside of some of these key defensive plays and Andy Page's catch, of course, double play to end the World Series in Game 7, it is what Yoshinobu Yamamoto did on the mound. Even during spring training, Mookie Betts shared with me, he said, look, I want to be the Yoshi as shortstop. So if that means I need to throw javelins, if that means I need to take care of my body differently, how he was able to step in and be available and to perform form, having great numbers in the World Series, that's what more guys are starting to do. And we're starting to see, especially with the javelins, that becoming a little bit more of a trend, especially around this organization, guys.
All those Blue Jay fans, they hate seeing number 18 go out to the mound to face their team. Thank you very much, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Yeah, rematch of games 2 and 6 of the World Series. A couple guys with splitters that are both devastating.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a battle of the splitters. I got one guy who's thrown his fastball immaculately, and that's Gosman. Yamamoto hasn't had the fastball command that we are used to, but both splitters are going down, and we will see if they're both going down. It's going to be a pitcher's duel. If one starts going a little sideways, one offense is going to have an advantage.
This Dodger lineup, we talked about it at the start of the season, the length of it, very impressive, and it's played out that way. The bottom third, especially, you know, the guys at the top are going to do what they do, but the bottom third of the Dodger order by far has been the best in baseball.
Yeah, their OPS is like at the all-star level, and you see what Dalton Rushing did yesterday, hitting breaking balls. Last year, he was seeing about 70% breaking balls, seeing a lot of spin. He's going to turn the scouting report around on this league if he keeps doing that.
All right, Dodgers and Blue Jays, middle game in this 3-game series coming up in just a few, guys.
When it comes to then, obviously, the pitchers we've been seeing in this series, I mean, today we're going to see Kevin Gausman. Of course, we've got Yoshino Yamamoto for us. With Yoshi, what is it like for you? First, I want to ask you watching him, but then also catching him. So when you're kind of just viewing how the stuff is playing from him, how he's able to go back out there, be readily available, what is it like just from the catcher standpoint and what you're seeing?
He's one of the best pitchers I think I've ever been able to work with and watch. And when I say pitchers, it's a guy that can adjust on the fly, understand what the objective is each start. He can pivot at any moment. He's got more pitches than any pitcher in baseball. So he's got the resources, he's got the avenues to take from a pitching perspective. But another thing for me is nothing ever speeds him up. So it's whether he runs into trouble in the first, the fourth, the seventh, whatever it is, he kind of goes right back to the plan and just does his job. I'm very excited to watch this matchup tonight, and look forward to obviously just seeing another good Yoshi outing. You know, it's easy to root for a guy like that, a guy that prepares the way that he does, a guy that obviously has the talent that he does. And yeah, obviously everyone around the world is going to be watching this matchup tonight, and hopefully we can have our guy come out on top.
Yoshi finished the Fall Classic with 3 wins, made 2 starts, that Game 7 relief appearance, the ERA just over 1, 0.68 whip. And in 17 2/3 innings, he had 15 strikeouts, only 2 walks, and opponents hit a $169 against him. And now tonight, Yamamoto making his 3rd start of this season. He's 1-1. The ERA is 3. He hasn't generated maybe the same swing and miss at the rate we saw last year, but Nomar, it is very early. What will you be looking for from Yoshi in this game tonight?
Oh, well, for him, I think it's more the fastball. Yeah, that you talk about the swing and miss. We know he has great split finger, but everything just feeds off the fastball. When he's dotting that fastball, all the other pitches are even more devastating because he really forces the hitters have to either hone in one small part because the other places you just can't hit, or you end up looking everywhere and just praying as a hitter, because when he's hitting the fastball, you know if he's going to go up, down, outside, inside. He really has that going, and then the split finger and the breaking pitches, you just get the swing and miss.
Yeah, Oral touched on it. You know, you got to have that fastball command. Nomar really kind of elaborated on it as well. That fastball command, especially in and out at the knees, sets up that split. That's why he gets a swing and miss. He's got to be able to have that fastball command. The first couple starts, kind of hit and miss with that fastball command. Yeah. Hopefully he has that command tonight.
The Blue Jays would love somebody to hit not 1 but 2 home runs like Doug Ault did on April 7th, 1977. But we're going to focus on pitching right now. It is the same matchup as there was, Joe, in both Game 2 and Game 6 of the World Series. Kevin Gausman for the Blue Jays, Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Dodgers.
On the other side, Yamamoto, he took home the World Series MVP honors. How did he do it? Well, he outpitched Kevin in both of those games, but then after throwing 100 pitches, or almost 100 pitches in Game 6, he turned around, went 2 2/3 scoreless innings to close out Game 7 of the World Series. He's outstanding. He has a lot of weapons. Blue Jays hitters trying to get back on track. Won't be easy tonight.
And if you heard that booing behind us moments ago, that's when Yamamoto was announced, a sign of respect really from Blue Jay fans because of how incredible he was in the World Series.
So first and third, nobody out, and Ohtani takes the first one in the dirt. He's seen 5 pitches. They've all missed. Bottom of the order again, getting the job done. 7 through 9 in the Dodger lineup, the best in baseball by 150 points of OPS. Dave Roberts is saying before the game, that's when this lineup really gets scary. Ohtani lifts a fly ball to right field. Lucas is going back. It's off the wall. Dodgers on the board first. Kim in to score. Freeland to third. Shohei Ohtani with an RBI single. 1-0.
Shohei hit this like a 1-iron. Just went down and just dropped the head of the bat on it and just hits a screaming line drive without the double width fence. The height of this fence keeps it in the ballpark. If it's one of those 8-foot fences, it's out of here.
Up with a hole in the fence.
We showed that Kevin wasn't giving Ohtani anything to hit in that first at bat, and I'm not sure that wasn't by design. Let's see if he gets anything this at bat. You could call it an open base because there is one, but with nobody out, all kinds of trouble brewing.
And you got Tucker and Smith behind. As much as Ohtani is Ohtani, they've got a lot of great hitters in this lineup. Line drive, deep right field. Off the wall. 1 run is home. It's a very long RBI single for Ohtani, and it's 1-0 Dodgers.
The bat speed is just so incredible, how he can get to almost any pitch in so many different locations. Like they wanted to go away, and he pulled it down and in, but he gets to that pitch with ease.
Drop. Still nobody out. Here's Shohei Ohtani taking a strike, throw down to first, and took a Superman dive right there from Vlad Jr. to keep it in the infield. Ohtani is hurt.
Oh, it was on the throw. And the follow through of the hand knocked right on his left elbow. Right about where the funny bone is, where it can just numb you.
Remember, that is the side that he had shoulder surgery on after the 24 World Series.
Shohei was just trying to get some feeling back in his arm.
Wow, that is the largest and loudest sigh of relief coming out of Los Angeles, coming out of that dugout. Oh,
still shaking it out. But between his yelling that he was hurt and us seeing the replay on how it happened, I was nervous for those 4 or 5 seconds. Like, how did this happen? What is going on?
Lifts a fly ball to right field for Lucas. There's the first out of the 5th. It's looked more and more like it's mostly just a little bit of anger, frustration that happened, than it is anything too serious.
It's comforting to see him sit down, to not see any of the trainers come over and check on him.
Man, how you feeling if you're Brandon Valenzuela in your 2nd game in the major leagues? You just made Ohtani mad for the first time. Not first time you've made him mad, the first time he's been mad. Like, I've never seen him like that.
No. He might have been mad before, but he's never shown it.
I think we even saw a mastery of a different portion of the English language there come out of his mouth.
He definitely, it was fingers that hit him, not the ball, and it just probably really was specific to a nerve that really lit his elbow on fire.
Now tell me, what was it like playing behind Yoshinobu Yamamoto today?
It's always special to play behind him. I always really enjoy watching him throw.
You knew that this was going to be an exciting series. When it came to a World Series rematch, I mean, describe what it was like to kind of being a part of this matchup, and of course, how close this one today was.
Yeah, well, I mean, last year I wasn't here, so this was my first time experiencing it, but like I could feel the tension and feel the atmosphere, and man, I just enjoy playing in an environment like this, so I really enjoyed it.
Well, Alex, a great day at the plate, a great day on the field. Congratulations on this win.
Thank you so much.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto back in Toronto. He was the World Series MVP the last 3 times he had pitched there. Complete game in Game 2 of the World Series. He wins Game 6, and he wins Game 7 coming out of the bullpen, Jerry. And then tonight, 6+ innings, allowed just 1 run with 6 strikeouts.
And you know the Blue Jays offense was trying to get back tonight after getting beaten down last night, Game 1 of the series. Yamamoto, outstanding job keeping their bats silent, only allowing that 1 run in 6 innings. Fastball working, outstanding split, and that curveball, too. When you have 3 pitches like that, it is so tough to cover for an offense.
I mean, early on, he looked great, striking out the side, right from the get-go, was going. And we mentioned before the game, key to him is having that fastball command. Well, he had that, and that allowed all those other off-speed pitches to...
The slider he threw to Springer was absolutely filthy.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a fastball. It looked like a fastball on TV. Try being in the batter's box and try to pick up that late breaking slider and understanding that's probably his 4th best pitch. Fastball, split, curveball, and then the slider. He's had that working. It's just tough sledding for hitters.
When you look at this outing, how you were able to navigate so efficiently through the Blue Jays lineup, did you find that today was probably the best you felt this regular season?
まず今日これだけ効果的に投げれた要因と今シーズン3試合ですけど一番良かったですか？
そうですね。前の2試合に比べてまた少し感覚がよくコントロールして投げられたなと思います。はい。
Yes, I felt better than last two outings.
With what do you think happened there, either in the 6th or even early in the 7th, that just allowed them to attack you a little bit differently?
6回と7回の最初の方、ちょっとうまくいかなかった要因って相手の方にありましたか？
ちょっとセット入ってからもう少しなところがあるなと、今日の試合で感じましたし、そこは一つ課題ではありますけど、後半なんとか7回3人抑えて、っていうのが一番良かったんですけど、ちょっと先頭を出してしまって、ベシアに助けられました。
Yeah, because a little bit I was off from the stretch, and then that's something I need to clean up for the next outing. And then I wanted to complete the 7th inning, but I allowed it lead off and then again on the base, and so that's something I need to look back on.
The first 5 innings were really no stress. What was working so well in that stretch?
5回まで素晴らしかったんですけども、何が今日一番うまくいった要因ですか？5回まで。
ノーワインドの時、昨日からまたちょっと感覚が良くなって、なのでコントロールしっかり、ストレートも変化球も思ったように投げれてたので、相手は積極的に来てましたけど、それがうまいことこうはまって球数も少なくいけてたかなと、思います。
Yeah, because since yesterday, because I started feeling even better, and I was able to carry that on into today's game, and then so that's why I was able to control my pitches, both fastball and then also off speed.
The second time you faced Sanchez, you really had him off balance. Just what did you learn from that first at bat that you then brought into that second time?
サンチェス選手をやっぱ今日ちょっと的絞らせないみたいな感じだったんですけども、1回目の対戦の後何か変えたりしましたか？
いえ、特に変えたとかはないですけど、こうなんて言うんだろうな、たまたまこういろんな球種を使って、っていう打席になりましたね。
Because I think I was able to efficiently mix in my pitches.
Game on base streak now, one shy of Ichiro's 43. It was the most by a Japanese-born player.
Ichiro was an incredible player, and good to see. Shohei Ohtani got in the very first bat. He drew a 4-pitch walk, got on base. Good to see him pick up an RBI. This ball is rocketed off the wall too. Got to the wall in less than a second. Yeah. Loud double. Great swing from the Big Show. Excuse me, a loud single.
So it was. Yeah,
it was a loud single.
So
yeah, he hit that.
Shinobu, just what he was able to do, especially kind of, let's start with, I guess, through the 5 innings of work, how efficient he was. What were you seeing with him when it came to just his command and how he was controlling the strike zone?
Yeah, I mean, he had command of everything. I thought the split, the fastball, using the curveball when he needed to. He got those guys in a swing mode kind of a situation where they didn't want to get into counts. You saw they're aggressive. which helped the efficiency. And, you know, he threw the baseball really well. And so to get him to touch the 6th inning, you know, Okamoto did a great job on that challenge where he could have punched him out, gives up the double, then the bunt base hit. So I thought right there it was a good time to get Vesia in there. And, you know, after the leadoff walk, he did a great job of, you know, limiting the damage or actually preventing no damage, you know, allowing no damage. And so just a great outing by Vess. And, yeah, Trinan was really good tonight, and then finishing it with Diaz.
You also saw tonight why Yamamoto played such a pivotal role, probably the most important role of any Dodger in the World Series last year in ensuring that they won said World Series. And you saw reasons why over 6 innings tonight.
He's nasty. If you could create a pitcher on a video game, it would look just like that guy right there. He's got 6 different pitches. He's got weapons galore. Look, it's all about tunneling, command, being deceptive, the stuff he has, the speed differential. Like literally, if you were going to sit there and say, I'm going to create the best pitcher on the planet, it might look just like him. The way that the ball comes out, these short, late movements are virtually impossible to really pick up on, and he's got 20-mile-an-hour difference between his fastball and his breaking ball, that slow curveball. He has a weapon for every type of target that you try and go after. He can counter with the opposite. Most pitchers, they only have 3 or 4 pitches. I mean, look at Gausman. He's really a 2-pitch pitcher. Yamamoto has 6, and it's all up and down, east-west, push and pull. It's the type of arsenal that you just cannot defend against. It's if he beats himself, that's the only chance you have. He has command galore. He can put it where he wants. It's a really tough AB, because when you think you have him figured out, he can throw a sinker up and in. If you're looking slider away, if you're looking up, then he goes split underneath. Like, he just figures it out. And because his command is so good, because his stuff is so elite, it's almost impossible.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。